So I've seen people come on pretty much every social media platform you can think of and argue that 95% of pilot projects involving AI in companies failing is irrelevant. They're pilot projects, they say. Of course, they're going to fail at a high rate, but that's not how pilot projects work. If 95% of your attempts to use a tool result in failure, there are only one of two possibilities. One is that you have no idea how to use the tool, and one could argue that if 95% of a tool's users can't figure out how to use it effectively, then it's probably a bad tool in the first place. The other is that the tool just does not have very many uses and you're being wildly oversold on what it can do. Now, if you had 50-50 results, I would argue that those pilot projects are very successful because if you can get it working about half the time and make it do what you need it to do, then obviously there's a lot of potential there for you to leverage. But a 95% failure rate reminds me of the old adage about teaching. If a couple students fail your tests, a couple bad students fail your test. If the entire class fails a test, then you gave a bad test. If more than 9 out of 10 companies can't make their money back on chatbots, if all these AI agents can't complete a task 2 times out of 3, if it's apparently going to take a decade for them to be even useful, then what exactly are we doing here? Let's not fall down the rabbit hole of sunk cost fallacies and pretend that pilot projects are supposed to fail all the time and that it's okay that tools for which you had to upend the whole company not to actually work most of the time, just to defend using the wrong tool for the job, not because people objectively thought that this was the best way forward, but because a bunch of executives heavily invested in a certain idea yelled at them to do it. Tools are supposed to work for us, not the other way around. And it's legitimately scary that big tech is building a financial Habsburg family tree in search of a problem their newest obsession can solve. So much so that it's distorting the global economy.